Well, later tonight in November, snowfall is forecasted to hit the Twin Cities, but right now, calm outside, and of course, a calm day inside U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. The final playoff push is upon us. It's Week 12 of the NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. And that's not going to be returned, as so many kicking teams elect to do. This is past the landing zone, and we'll start at the 30. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They'll run here, the former Longhorn with it. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down. Well, this defense for the Seahawks, they were terrific last week in the win over the Rams.
And that's not the half of it. They forced 7 turnovers in that game, and I know we always talk about turnovers coming in bunches once you force the first one, but 7? That seems almost impossible, but we watched it happen.
From the 33, here's 2nd down and 7. McCarthy operating from the gun. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the first.
That looked like a pretty good route combination there, because you've got to find a way to clear the guy running the drag, because when you do, you just put the ball on him and then let him run.
Yeah, he's got some space. On 1st down, Griffin. Oh, good move. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. That's good for 21 yards and a 1st down.
Well, partner, I have to say they caught him in the right defense there. Nickel set, 5th defensive back on the field, and they love to run against that, because now you typically get a bigger blocker on a smaller defender.
Yeah, because those DBs like you, they want the interception. They're not as worried about the running play, right?
Not at all. And I still remember being in school, and one of my offensive line teammates used to say, boy, I'd love to come downfield and hit you little people.
Good run there. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. For the Vikings, it's 7-3 now on the year. And they've been in a great groove. Winners of 7 of their last 10 now on the year.
And let's remember that last week that this offense, they played about as well as they possibly could play. Touchdown after touchdown. They were absolutely unstoppable in that game. They'll be hard-pressed to do it again, repeat that type of performance. But, boy, were they sensational just a week ago.
Flushed out right. And he's left with no option here but to throw it away. You talk about this Seahawk defense. They were terrific last week in the win over the Rams.
They forced 7 turnovers.
How many?
7.
7.
I mean, think about that number now. That's supposed to be a lucky number, right? Lucky for one side, unlucky for the other.
Now McCarthy. Oh, man, it's caught inside the 10. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
A lot of precision being shown on this opening drive. They've been methodical, they've been crisp, and as a reward, they're going to be set up with an early 1st and goal.
A terrific opening drive has them knocking on the door. 1st and goal. They'll try and run. This is Williams. He pushes forward from maybe 3 down to the 6-yard line.
Here's where we need to see some tenacity from this defense, because they've been pushed right down the field on this opening drive. They've got to find some way to push back, and that's a good first step.
Throwing is McCarthy. And they're going to get him. They bring him down to the sack back at the 16-yard line. Leonard Williams, the former number 6 overall pick, got the sack that time.
Well, the pass rush has been a real strength of late. They know how to get after the quarterback.
Absolutely. 4 sacks last week. That's their first one here. Anything in particular you've seen from them or on film?
I think that they're winning athletically up front, winning those one-on-one battles, but also when the offensive line wants to keep everyone in and mass protect, they know how to scheme their way back to the quarterback as well.
3rd and goal, McCarthy. Hard throw, incomplete.
I think that was a good job there defensively. They did allow them to drive all the way downfield, but once they got their backs to the goal line, they really turned up the pressure.
Yeah, they let them get all the way down here. Now the field shrinks. They've struggled to convert, and that last incompletion brings up 4th. The kick by Lutz is good. And the Vikings have a 3-0 lead. All in all, a pretty decent opening drive, Charles. Pretty balanced. They have the passing game going and the rushing attack, too.
That start because you get your ground game going, which means your offensive line and your runners are pretty happy, and then you get your aerial attack going as well, so your quarterback and receivers have smiles on their faces. Now both up to speed, awaiting their next possessions for this game. They can't wait to get started again.
And able to break this out all the way to the 38-yard line. Great return. They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10 at their 38. First carry here for Kenneth Walker the 3rd. And he'll get what he can up the middle, 3 yards. That'll bring up 2nd down. Yeah, look at this defense for the Vikings. They were very strong last week in the win over Carolina.
And I'm eager to see the game plan and trying to attack them this week, because when you take it away 4 times through interceptions, do you now decide that I can't throw the ball against this team and try and run it like crazy? Or do you challenge them? This is going to be fun.
Here's a 2nd and 7. Open man, that's Noah Fant, the tight end. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45. That one good for 14 and a Seahawk first. Well, that tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point. They continue to give you speed, great hands, and big bodies, which make them excellent targets for quarterbacks.
Walker now on 1st and 10. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. This running game so important for them, and they know that. It helped lead them to a victory last week when he was over 100 yards.
Let's face it, it's their identity, and that's what they want to play to. They want to be that team that runs the ball really well each and every week, and right now we're seeing a pretty good pattern of that happening.
Sticking with Walker on 2nd down. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. 7 yards there and a 1st down. A couple of nice carries back-to-back here, establishing the ground game a bit.
Yeah, these aren't bare-bones runs now. I mean, they're getting substantial yardage, the kind of yards you're looking for, right? Let's go ahead and use a cliche. Stay ahead of the change, right? 5 or more yards each time. That's what you're looking for in setting a tone and getting your offensive line going.
Good sign on the opening drive. And Walker once more. And he gets forward up the middle, but only for a couple. It'll be 2nd down.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense, rallying to the football and getting him on the ground. But I think the play gets made by the defensive front, because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
2nd down, 8 to go from the 28. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete.
So many offenses want to include their running backs into the passing offense and be able to swing the ball out or check it down to them. But sometimes those guys are just not as comfortable catching the ball as they are running it.
7th play of the drive forthcoming on 3rd and 8. Back to throw. Childress. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
A field goal helps, but a touchdown gets you the lead. That had to be the message transmitted in the huddle. And they delivered there as that throw is going to keep the drive alive. And even better than that, set them up with a 1st and goal.
Operating from the gun, Childress. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. DK Metcalf with a milestone career touchdown number 100. Joining Curtis Martin and Franco Harris at the century mark as he continues to climb the all-time list. And the Seahawks are able to answer the early 3 points and take a first quarter lead. Extra point up and through by Myers. And that makes it a 7-3 lead. The kick unit for the Seahawks out there on the field, and we are ready to rock. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And they had a long drive last time, but they had to settle for a field goal, and I'm sure that's how it felt to them, settling. They probably should have gotten in the end zone.
Yeah, not out-and-out joy, right? Because that's what you get when you put the ball in the end zone. But there are benefits to that type of a long drive. Your defense gets a chance to take a break, adjust a little bit, maybe get themselves ready to get back out on the field and play a little bit better. So they'll take the benefit even though they wanted the 6 points.
And maybe wore down the other defense. We'll see. Ball on the 30 now. Here's 2nd and a couple. Up the middle they go. It's Griffin. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard on the play, so now they need 3 yards on 3rd down. After 1, 7-3 the score on EA Sports. It'll be a nickel look here for the Seahawks on 3rd down. McCarthy, he'll set to throw it. He gets it to Addison. And he will have a Vikings first down. They needed 3. He doubled that. He got 6.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the first down. And that's what he just did.
To the air with McCarthy. Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense. He couldn't get rid of it. He takes a sack for a loss of 6 to bring up 2nd down. He seemed to have a reasonable amount of time in the pocket, but he couldn't get rid of the football, and the end result, Charles, him on the ground.
Yeah, he's got to keep an internal clock to go along with his offensive line. When you're talking about 3, 4, 5 seconds, that's a reasonable amount of time to expect to deliver the ball downfield. So great to try and complete a pass, but it's equally important to know when to throw the football away, too.
Over the middle and complete to Addison. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 25 yards there on the catch and run. Had to put that ball in there with a little extra zip, but he put it right where it needed to be.
Yeah, and that little extra pace that he had on the pass, that required a little extra concentration for him, didn't it? Ball can get on you pretty quick in that manner, and he handled it well and picked up the first down.
So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 46. Looking to throw McCarthy. They go with a shuffle pass, and it's complete. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
And I like the idea here. Get the ball in his hands, even if it's in the passing game. 3 catches a week ago, and he does a nice job here to pick up yardage.
Now a handoff up the middle. Griffin, and he stopped after a gain of 1. Not enough. Still a yard to go on 3rd down. This offense so far on 3rd down, they've been okay. 2 for 3 thus far. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. They'll keep it on the ground. It's Griffin. He's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Field goal would have been a decent length at 55 yards. They keep the kicking unit on the sideline. They're going for it. They'll indeed go. Here's McCarthy. He's got his running back out of the backfield. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets it down to the 30 there. They're able to keep the drive alive. 7 yards that time, and the decision to go for it proves to be a good one. Both sides were holding their breath there on that 4th down play, and the offense can breathe a sigh of relief.
And both knew exactly where the first down markers were. You know the defense is trying to guard those sticks and try and keep people in front, but somehow, some way, those guys found a way to pick it up.
Here's McCarthy. Oh, it's intercepted. A drive killer there. Picked off by Reek Woolen. And the Seahawks are going to get this back to their own 34-yard line. But certainly not his best throw that time, and not a good time to make it, Charles, when they were a nickel with 5 defensive backs on the field.
And that's exactly why you have those 5 DBs out there. You want extra speed on the field, guys who have ball skills and understand what the passing game can do, and gives them a chance to react and make a play on the football, and they take one of those away.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out. Looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
Second and 10. Looking to throw. Childress. This is Fant on the short completion. And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
I know I spend a lot of time talking about how tight ends in a lot of cases now are pumped up wide receivers, but they're still big people. He used that frame right there to absorb a really big hit on him and held on to the ball.
A give for Walker running right. And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Viking territory. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
Now 2nd and 3. Back to throw. Childress. This is the tight end Fant. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. It's a gain of 22 as we tick towards the 2-minute warning.
And he's the epitome of what we call the move tight end. A guy that you can line up anywhere. In the slot, out wide, in tight. Doesn't really matter because he has such great skills. You want to utilize him in all aspects of your passing offense.
And there he was in the slot for the catch. On first down, he'll drop to throw. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
He was trying to get that one out to his running back out of the backfield, but that one was read and timed perfectly, and they were able to break it up.
Second and 10 now from the 27. Operating from the gun. Childress out right to Smith and Jigba. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets this down about the 21 or 22. They get 6. That'll leave him with 3rd and 4. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts. So as they talk it over, we step aside. Here's the 7th play of this drive. This is 3rd and 4. They'll look to throw again. And he's going to go down. They sack him back right around the 30. Looks like a 9-yard loss. And it also brings up 4th. Now here's Jason Myers. He gets set for the Seahawk field goal. This will be spotted at the 37, so it's a 47-yard attempt. Oh, and Myers left that one out there. It's no good. Wide to the right, and this will stay a 4-point game. So it's an empty trip downfield there as they get a missed field goal on 4th down.
And I didn't see anything in the setup. It's a good snap, good hold.
Yep.
He just pushed it, and that one never wanted to come back.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. But not an ideal way to end their previous drive. They threw the interception, Charles, after they had built up some momentum. They were moving the football, but something to at least build on for this offense as they run back out here.
Yeah, you're right about that. Up until that last play, everything was working pretty well for this offense, gaining chunks of yardage, getting first downs, really making a push for the end zone, and looked like they had a nice rhythm going. Now you got to have a short memory here. Don't focus on the interception. Focus on what came before it and get back to it. Well, that was a pretty favorable situation there. What would you call that? Second and manageable? Smart play, too. Didn't force it downfield when he didn't have it. Just checked it down, let him get the first down, and that's exactly what he did.
Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. Going to throw right side here, complete. And some room to run now. And down to the 20 he'll go before heading out of bounds. That'll wind up a gain of 27 on the catch and run.
Another nice play there. They've gotten down into the red zone in no time at all. That's what this offense can do when they get on a roll. And now they're set up with a 1st and 10.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Again, he'll drop to throw. And that one too wide and incomplete.
I'm really liking what I'm seeing from this defense because their coverage has been playing at a shutdown level so far. Even backed up late, they're forcing incompletions and fighting to keep them out of the end zone as the first half winds down.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. Throw left side, taken in by Jefferson. And he'll be out of bounds, taking it just shy of the 10 at the 11 or the 12. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tougher, guys trying to get to the football.
Middle of the field to Jefferson. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this first half. So it's 1st and goal and a great opportunity to get that lead back before the break. Sticking with a pass. Here's McCarthy. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Well, Brandon, we see why it's a team game there because there's a sigh of relief that they just released defensively. If he's able to get that one away, that's likely a touchdown. But instead, that pressure from the front got to him and forced the incompletion.
You're right. He had him open, just a split second too late on the release. Line of scrimmage, again the 4-yard line, 2nd and goal. From the shotgun, McCarthy. And it's caught in the end zone for the Viking touchdown by Justin Jefferson. A great effort there with his 16th touchdown of the year. And the Vikings will take the lead here in the final minute of the first half. Lutz with the extra point, and the lead is now 10-7. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And no chance to see a return on the dynamic kickoff. They'll move this out to the 30-yard line. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. With this slim deficit closing in on the end of the first half, we'll see if they can move this at least into field goal range and try to get 3 out of this drive. Throwing to start the drive. Childress. The Vikings after it, and they get there for the sack. That's Cameron Hayward who got in there to take him down.
Well, you do need to know as a young quarterback that if you're going to spread the field, the ball's got to come out quick, and you have to know where to go with the football, really in pre-snap. Identify where you want to go and get rid of it.
Operating from the gun, Childress. Rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked off by Jalen Ramsey, and he will be out of bounds with no time remaining on what will be the final action of this first half. And that'll do it for the end of the second quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. A good, tight football game thus far. 10-7 the score as we resume action on EA Sports. A lane opens here. He's past the 30. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Well, out of the locker rooms here they come. Their first drive of the third quarter. And, Charles, they're trailing in this ball game, but we got a tight one set up to be a very entertaining second half.
And as we know, partner, in the NFL, there's trailing and there's trailing, right? Sometimes you're discouraged by how much you're down, but in this case, this is a tight ball game, so there's a sense of optimism here. I think they went into half and looked at their play sheet and said, these are the plays we really like. What do you say we use them to start the second half and get us going?
A gain of 8 there on the play, and they'll be left with second and a couple.
Caught that look from you there, partner. I think we're on the same page on that one. Just his first catch, I think we both thought he'd be a little more active in the passing game. Let's see if that's the start of them trying to get the ball to him a little bit more here in the second half.
This is Fant on the short completion, and he'll only get a yard to bring up 3rd and 1.
I know exactly what's going to be said about that play from the defensive perspective.
What's that?
That's why I tell all you guys we need more than one tackler to the ball. He broke the first tackle. Luckily enough, there were more people there to get him down.
From the gun on 3rd down, Childress. That is caught. And some room to maneuver. And he's going to be out of bounds all the way down inside the 15. It's a big play there for Seattle. 45 yards.
They made that way too easy for them. No one is supposed to be that open against an NFL defense. Once he caught the ball, there wasn't anybody close enough to stop him. And he was able to continue downfield after making the catch.
Back to throw again. Walker with a grab, left side. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. It'll go down as a gain of 6, and it'll be second down. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
Out of the gun, Walker with it. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Call that a loss of a yard, and things get a little more difficult here, 3rd and 5.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. From the gun on 3rd down, Childress.
He had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
Well, the other day they told us when we've got 3rd and 5 or less, we have to be able to convert. And I guess every team would say that, Charles, but an opportunity missed there.
What they were trying to tell us is they believe it's a matchup game at that point, and they liked some matchups that they had, thought they could exploit them, unable to do so on that play.
So they come away from this opening drive in the 3rd quarter with only 3, but it does draw them even.
Yeah, and that has to be job one, doesn't it? A touchdown definitely would have been nice. We know that. But here, you get back on even terms, and now you've got most of the second half to try and get yourself into a position to win.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And their 3-point halftime lead gone now, back to a tie game. But, Charles, I don't imagine that changes too much for this offense.
I would agree. I don't think it changes much at all.
Oh, he sheds himself free. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. That's a good way to start the drive. 17 yards and a 1st down. A good chunk of those yards came after contact, and that's an area where he's really starting to excel as a running back.
It felt like he was doing a drill that running backs have to perform all the time, especially in pads, called a gauntlet drill. 2 guys, you know, people with these 2 rows, and you have to go right through the middle of them and make sure you take care of the football and knock people aside. He was performing the drill on that run.
And he's up across midfield and down into Seattle territory. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
It's not a huge breakaway run, but if your starting running back finishes the game with averages of 5 or 6 yards per touch, you'll take that every single time.
Here now, 2nd and 4. Looking to throw. McCarthy. And he's got this to Jefferson. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 21. That one good for 26 and a 1st down. Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the number 3 man in the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
It also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his game. You name it, from route running to catching the football. That's why he's able to produce those types of numbers.
They'll look to throw now on 1st down. It's caught on the right side, Williams. And he'll be taken down at the 20 after a gain of just 1.
I know it was a gain, but you have to sense probably a little bit of disappointment there, because when it's out there in open space, I think they expect to get more out of a play, don't you?
Especially when you're getting it to your guy out of the backfield. You're expecting him to be able to create something, be a little more shifty.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Good open field tackling held him to an okay game. This has certainly been a physical game so far. Limited scoring opportunities for both sides. And there's another chance that goes unfulfilled.
A field goal would get him the lead, but that's not what they're shooting for as they come up on 3rd down. Throwing is McCarthy. And so close, he gets it to the 1. Out of bounds, right? They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
And that could be one of those turning point plays in a ball game. A field goal gets you the lead here, but they want to make a statement and get 6 points. And they're certainly going to get that opportunity as they get the conversion and set up 1st and goal.
And McCarthy going to sneak it. And he is over the line for another rushing touchdown.
Is he a quarterback or is he a tailback?
The The sneak successful from a yard out. And the Vikings are going to take the lead. So this game tied at the half, but we are tied no more. A touchdown there on the opening sequence of this third quarter.
And what a great drive put together by their offensive coordinator. He had a plan, and they executed it almost to perfection, coming right out of the locker room. Now they're feeling good about their chances here in the second half.
After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped it to 23-yard line. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first.
How many times do we say in this game that speed kills, and it does it in so many different ways? In this case, you got a back who's quick and shifty, can make moves, make people miss, but also gets to and through a hole before it can close down. That's some of the benefits of that speed, not just outrunning people in the secondary. That led to a really nice game.
2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
I know they'd love to take some heat off of that young quarterback, but so far, not much in the running game, and this won't help things either. A loss on that play.
Here we go on 2nd and 12. And that one off the mark behind him, incomplete. He shook his head right when he released that throw. He knew it was going to be a little off target.
Yeah, the excitement got him on that one. Wasn't able to control the fact the receiver was open, and it would have been an easy throw.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Operating from the gun, Childress.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. He may go.
And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
That offense trying to erase that deficit, get a little bit closer here and climb back into this game in the 3rd quarter. Instead, they further their disadvantage, Charles, with a pick 6.
And that defense came out willing to do anything necessary to defend that lead. I think they looked around the huddle and said, who's going to make the big play? Who's it going to be? And the person just ended up in the end zone with the football. He was the one that answered the bell.
Lutz good on the extra point. And the lead now up to 14. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away.
And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense.
And not the first time that they're coming back out off of a turnover, but the last one really hurt, Charles, with that pick 6.
And it feels like the whole team's infected right now, doesn't it? It's not just been one person. It's kind of been a group effort where the mistakes have happened. Can they put that aside, kind of start over, and put together a nice drive?
They they still need about the length of the football here, maybe a little less as they come up on 2nd and inches.
Up the middle, here's Walker.
And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Back to throw. Childress.
He's going to get that to his running back out of the backfield.
And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. Last play they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards. Under a minute to go in this 3rd quarter as they come up 1st and 10. Operating from the gun. Childress repeated the last play, fighting Walker. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. This duo locked in, 14 yards there, and a 1st down.
It's taken a while for this offense to get going. A little creaky at the start, but they're oiled up now. A nice throw there, and they're really putting together a good drive.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Operating from the gun, Childress. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked up by Jalen Ramsey. And the Vikings will take over here at their own 12-yard line. He's had a fantastic rookie season, made a lot of lovely throws, but that wasn't one of them.
Well, we got to give him one, don't we? I mean, with the year he's having, a lot easier for he and his teammates to accept that throw, because for the most part, what they've seen, it's been pretty sensational.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly, because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
2nd and 7.
Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this.
Here's 2nd and 7.
Now a give right side. Griffin. And a nice gain there as he'll be taken down just shy of the 20. And still about 3 yards shy of a first as the 4-yard pickup brings it to 3rd down.
And this is the worry, because sometimes you can get a little too predictable in spots like this. You know you're going to run the ball, but they know you're going to run the ball as well. And now you look up and you're staring at an important 3rd down.
Now McCarthy. He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. The Vikings send out their punter. Always a good sign when your first punt comes in the 4th quarter. And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. And the punt over the side in the air, and the spot will be inside the 35. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway.
Their defense was able to force the punt. That's the good news. But this is still a 2-score game, and they need points on this drive and in a relatively quick manner.
Catch is made by Metcalf.
Down the right sideline.
And all the way in. Touchdown, Seattle.
DK Metcalf.
his second touchdown of the afternoon.
And the Seahawks have made it a one-score game again here in the fourth.
Myers connects on the PAT. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this fourth quarter. The kick unit for the Seahawks out there on the field, and we are ready to rock.
And not willing to risk a return. This ball is going to come out to the 30-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Their lead back down to one score after the touchdown a moment ago. First down's a must on this drive as they start out here 1st and 10. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. 59 yards rushing for him now as his fine rookie season continues.
And what a tough spot for this defense because they know it's coming, but they're just powerless to stop it. What a great run there to start the drive. And you can bet there'll be more where that came from as they try to ice this game away.
The big play to start him out has him at the 45 already. They'll keep it on the ground. It's Griffin, and he's up across midfield and down into Seattle territory. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2.
At the 47-yard line.
McCarthy, he'll set to throw it. Finding Hockenson here on the out route. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks' 27-yard line. That good for 21 yards on the catch and run.
Well, that should be a reminder defensively, and I think it's a reminder to myself because you just can't sell out to stop the run. There's still enough time that this offense can move the football through the air, even on 1st and 2nd downs, and they obviously picked the right spot to throw the ball there.
Now a first down carry. It's Williams. Down right around the 25. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
I'm sure that's going to be the formula. Just keep the ball on the ground. Keep that clock moving.
And when you have the lead this late in the game, above all, stay in bounds. Yes, take care of the football. Yes, gain yardage, but stay in bounds and let that clock tick.
To the air with McCarthy.
And he's going to be taken down back around the 35-yard line.
T.J. Watt, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
And this offense on 3rd down today, they've hit 4 of 7. This will be a tough 3rd and 18. Up the middle, it's Williams. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings.
Kyron Williams, his first rushing touchdown on the year. And the Vikings are looking to make it 2 straight as they add on to this 4th quarter lead.
We see this a lot on 3rd and short yardage, especially down here in the red zone. They're going to sell out to stop the run, try and hold them to a field goal. But once the running back gets past the first wave, the resistance can evaporate after that. And he not only picks up the first, but he takes it all the way into the end zone.
After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. Now Brown, oh, he teammate picking him up there. That was nearly disaster.
And the way that you coach these things, you want to make sure you have eyes towards the return guy because you want to make sure that the catch is secured. A lot of teams do that. They have at least one guy. Okay, you're responsible for making sure he secures the catch. He's not always the one that makes the recovery, but he can always sound out the alarm. Hey, ball's on the ground. We've got to get it back.
Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring it down. They'll wind up losing 8 on the sack there, and it's second down.
He was really focused downfield, but there was really no viable options. The coverage was too good.
And the defense really quickened the tempo of that play with their pass rush because there was nowhere for him to go with the football. The only place he ended up, down on the ground.
Operating from the gun, Childress. And pressure coming, and they got it once again. Dropped for a loss of 7 by multiple defenders.
So, Brandon, we sat in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively, I'm not sure that sack and sack are on their play sheet.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. That is incomplete.
Give him big credit for his coverage right there because when he saw the route break deep, he stayed in position to prevent a completion while avoiding any risk of a flag.
Now here's Michael Dixon as his first punt will come from inside his own end zone. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. That's pulled in at the 32. 13 yards on the return there after a punt of 57. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. They've got a chance now to put this game away following that last defensive stop and punt. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down. Decent start defensively to this series. They've got to stop them here and get this ball back.
I like the way you phrase that, partner. Decent start, but now it's got to be more about the ball. It's all about the ball, getting it away from them because making good tackles is one thing, but the clock will run out on you. You've got to have the football back for your offense.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13.
McCarthy off the play fake. And this throw a bit late as he couldn't reach back for it.
His back has been a dependable safety valve all game, so he went back to him when his first read was covered. Just unable to connect, so the play results in no gain.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Looking to throw McCarthy.
He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. The Vikings send out their punter as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. That's fielded at the 8-yard line.
And that'll be a return of 12 following a very nice punt.
And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense.
These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt, then you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
Back to throw now on first down. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. That's caught inside the 20. And all the way in. Touchdown, Seattle. Noah Fant, 63 yards. And the Seahawks have got it back to within a score.
No, we're not cheering. No, we're not rooting, but I am excited about this, and I know you are too. We got a ball game again after that big-time strike.
Big-time strike, and you are right. Don't go anywhere yet. This thing's not done. Still an important piece of business to take care of, the extra point. And that'll cut the lead down now to a touchdown.
Makes the score Vikings 31, Seahawks 24.
So a 7-point game. They'll need a recovery, the touchdown, and an extra point to tie. And the Vikings able to recover. The hands team does its job. And, he takes a shot at the end of that play. And now looking at the clock here, they do have 2 timeouts, but even if they force a 3-and-out, they're going to have very little time remaining.
So that means they've got to be aggressive and find a way to knock the ball free. They've got to come up with it because they can't just rely, as you noted, on using their timeouts and getting the ball back. They might not have any time to mount an attack, even if they do play it that way. Get the football. That's their mantra.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And this one now not quite over yet. Still 2 timeouts remaining defensively. And, boy, having that 3rd timeout would have really helped here.
And another example of why coaches really stress saving your timeouts for when you absolutely have to have them. They go over this all the time. Here's one of those situations. So with your team leading in the 4th quarter, you know you've got to run the football. They know you've got to run the football. Sometimes that means there's nowhere to run the football.
Second and 12, and you'd have to assume another all-out effort to stop the run is coming.
He's going to get it again. Just looking to get forward and protect the ball. And he will have a Viking first down, and that should be the one that gets him to the finish line.
Well, you know me, partner. I never tell them to back off of being aggressive, but sometimes you see the consequences when you're overly aggressive and you don't secure tackles. Guys break through.
Trying to sell out to pry that football loose, and just as you said, cost some yardage.
Yeah, you got to go get him. Stand him up first before you go for the ball. Don't just go for it initially.
And they'll go on the ground.
Not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
Here's a 2nd and 8.
Now a give right side. Griffin. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5. Charles, why didn't they just take the knee there?
You're asking the question that I'm asking as well, because We've seen a lot of football where coaches decide maybe they get a little greedy. I don't know if they're doing it for stats or for what reason. We've seen it happen in college. And how about in the NFL? The miracle of the Meadowlands. All they had to do was take a knee and the game was over. The Giants ran it one more time. Ball popped free. Philadelphia picks it up and wins the game.
What year was that?
1978. I think it was in November.
McCarthy operating from the gun. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. Toward the back corner of the end zone, but he could not get the feet down. This will wind up incomplete. Well, this was a very close ball game at halftime, Charles, but in the second half, that offense kind of kicked things into another gear, and they were able to pull away for the victory.
And, Brandon, I think they're the type of team that just looked in the mirror and said, hey, ton of pressure on, but we're the type of team that can flat out handle it. They stood up with confidence, and made it happen for a victory.
So for Minnesota, they keep pace in the playoff race as they move to 8-3 on the year. And they'll get to stay home again next week. Meanwhile, for the Seahawks, we'll see how this affects their playoff standing as they fall to 7-4 now on the year. And they'll try to rebound next week as they...
Shooting my shot like, ayy. Hit the red dot like, ayy. Finger on the like, ayy, 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 ayy. Shooting my shot like, ayy. Hit the red dot like, ayy. Their spot like, ayy, 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 ayy. I gotta get it, man. Shout out, I'm fully committed like, ayy. I studied the target, I'm never gonna miss it. I call that precision like, ayy. Shooting my shot like, ayy. Hit the red dot like, ayy. Finger on the like, ayy, 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 ayy. Grandma was in A, auntie was in it, ayy. Mama had AAA, I wasn't scared to crash anyone anyway. I ride a shotty while bro had to get away. I gotta penetrate, I gotta generate. I got like 20 some years to my hood, now I gotta go live away. I'm out of town, but I'm not on the getaway. I spin a giveaway. You mean I'm the generous king for real? I the sleep, then I light up the street, got screaming like Billie Jean for real. I'm from the M, I got M's in the bank and M's in all my streams for real. Feeling like Phil, they be living like Carlton if I leave him in the wheel. Shooting my shot like, ayy. Hit the red dot like, ayy. Finger on the like, ayy, 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 ayy. Shooting my shot like, ayy. Hit the red dot like, ayy. Their spot like, ayy, 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 ayy. I gotta get it, man. Shout out, I'm fully committed like, ayy. I studied the target, I'm never gonna miss it. I call that precision like, ayy. Shooting my shot like, ayy. Hit the red dot like, ayy. Finger on the like, ayy, Ay, baby, I'm loving it. I think I'm ready for kids. She said when to stop trying to in her face. That makes sense. I'm going up past LA Brent. I'm going off no fail, say switch. Yeah, me and my team go back like plastic cup boys on some tailgate. Okay, look, all eyes on me. I feel like I'm Truman. Oh, we finna win it, cause I'm about to lose it. I don't give a computers disputing. I go off the field, no heads, he just shooting. I die for my team, I'm the coach, I'm recruiting. I'm spending my time and I'm saving the day. I feel like a mutant, I'm built like a student. I'm feeling bilingual, cause I'm in Nigeria, rocking the Cubans. My life is a highlight reel that I keep on looping. You can't just tell me, you gotta prove it. Stealing, they first name is Lupin. I'm hitting harder than like Yukin. They sending shots, but somehow I just juke it. Hitting my desk, I'm B.I.G. You know I can't forget that I do it. Shoot my shot like ayy. Hit the red dot like ayy. Finger on the like ayy. Shoot my shot like ayy. Hit the red dot like ayy. Your spot like ayy. I gotta get it, man. Shout out, I'm fully committed like ayy. I studied the target, I'm never gonna miss it. I call that precision like ayy. Shooting my shot like ayy. Hit the red dot like ayy. Finger on the like ayy.
I came in nothing but them raps, the clothes on my back, them L-dogs, nothing but them blacks, the A, with a black man is debonair. I'm talking about a black man's heaven here. Shorty, we going where the destination is manifested. We learn how to collect reparations and invest it. I went from dressing the coldest to catching the COVID, to blessed with success to promote it, to just go.
Yeah, buddy, you ready or not? Don't really care if you was or you wasn't LeBron. From now on, I'm calling the shots. I don't really care about your hating little daddy LeBron. Your mammy's a pity. Anytime I get beside myself, I remind myself from thing I gotta go through. I don't like therapists, I don't like most. You love me, my go-to. Love a thing blind on top like Goku. Just left Nobu, back in my dojo. Channel like Aura, got the whole Roku. Been big dog from the tell the road told you. Wait, don't even know you. Step right, I'm a long trip. Blink of my VIP. Snack of my. Won't break, won't miss. Rich took his check out. We talking start like ball hype. Pretty face guy like, bruh, how do I exist? In the gym every day, I'm gonna miss. I'm a daddy like, boy, don't blow my assist. I got it. Tryna slow down my motion. It's written, you cannot control this. You gonna blow it. Them, they not important. Me, I'm the one goated. 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 Tryna slow down my motion. It's written, you cannot control this. You gonna blow it. Them, they not important. Me, I'm the one goated. 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 Just don't touch me, you're ugly. Just don't touch me, you're ugly. Bro, I'm godlike, I'm judgy. I can't touch this girl, she musty. Bro, you flexing on IG. People like you disgust me. Just don't touch me, you're ugly. Just don't touch me, you're ugly. These women love me, bro, they tryna me. That's the wrong way, back your buddy, if he get lucky, it'll get yucky. Little buddy touch me, I can turn auntie into a I'm in the S5 facing cuffy, cause can't name that dummy. Tryna slow down my motion. It's written, you cannot control this. You gonna blow it. Them, they not important. I'm the one goated. Me, I'm the one goated. Me, I'm the one goated. Me, I'm the one goated. Tryna slow down my motion. It's written, you cannot control this. You gonna blow it. Them, they not important. Me, I'm the one goated. Me, I'm the one goated. Me, I'm the one goated. Me, I'm the one goated.